going to attempt to try firing up my 35 Ford. It's been a few years since we've ran it, so I'm kind of interested. Try to get back on the road. Like I said, it hasn't ran in a few years. I'm going to just crank it over and get the oil pressure going, then pump it up and see if we can get fuel to it, and see if it even turns over. And I can want to fire it. It might take a while. It hasn't ran in a few years. Still a little cold. Not bad for sitting for a few years. Like I said, it's been a pretty reliable car.
You got a gas? Are you going down that way? Oh, down the main one?
Very dusty.
Very well, yeah.
Easy too if you didn't run for a couple of years.
Still oil.
Still recording, by the way.
Yeah. Gives a thumbs up, Bug. Forced to be here.
Yes, I'm forced to be here.
Okay, I'm back working on my coupe here. When I fired it up the other day, it was revving up and one of the linkages weren't kicking down. But I found the guilty culprit. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it is loose around the throttle shaft and it's just out of whack. So I'm gonna take that apart and tighten it up, and hopefully we'll be firing it up shortly. But that's the culprit right there. So I'm gonna monkey around with it and fiddle with it and hopefully fire it up in a couple minutes. Okay, I took these all apart around the throttle shaft. I took the Allen keys out and I put a bit of thread lock in them and retightened them. I also did it around the back throttle shaft here, is also loose. So it all triggers now as one, as it should. So if that's the case, we will try to fire this turd up right now and see what happens. Okay, so it's safe to say it works. I'm just gonna maybe go through a few more of them and just double check it. But I seem to be happy with the progress of that so far. So everything seems to be working as one. I think I'm gonna go stop for a quick bite to eat. It's gonna be my ghetto supper tonight. Some cake, so we'll see what that's like. And maybe ponder my thoughts what I'm gonna do for the rest of the evening. But I'll get back to you with the history on this old turd. Okay, so here's the history on my 1935 Ford 3 window. I picked it up early 2003, maybe 2004. I'm about 15 miles away from where I live. It's in the middle of a field. I heard about it through a friend of a friend. When I went and looked at it, the gentleman also had a 34.5 window. I got the pair for $700. I no longer have the 5 window. I wish I did, but that's life. This car was all complete sitting in the middle of a field, which I thought was kind of cool. But the front sheet metal was missing. We were able to find all the sheet metal and parts in various barns and sheds and whatnot. The best part of the day was when the owner brought the grill shell out. So that was pretty kick-ass, finding that. So that was pretty awesome. When I got it home, I was able to find through another friend of a friend, a frame that had a Nova clip in it. I know it's not the traditional thing or really the right thing, but it's what I could afford at the time, and I wanted to get this car on the road fairly fast. So the motor is a 327 that I had out of one of my other cars. When I first had it on the road, it just had a regular 4-barrel on it and an automatic turbo 350. But probably about 10 years ago, I replaced the intake with a 6 carbs, an Offenhauser manifold, and probably about 5 years ago I put the Muncie 4-speed in it because I really like banging gears. But when I first got it on the road, I took it to one of our local shows, the Rotorama, and when the weekend was done, I was hunted down by a local, one of the guys from the paper, and he wanted to know if he could do a write-up on the car. And I said, sure, that'd be awesome, great, that's pretty cool. Makes you kind of feel kind of special and good about yourself. But he wanted to know if we could do a write-up about calling it a rat rod, and I guess rat rod because it was in primer, and I guess that's when the scene was in and all that stuff. So, but like I said, my definition of a rat rod is different. It's not like it has crazy carpets for mud flaps or anything stupid or silly like that. But it was pretty cool and it was a pretty neat article. I liked it. As a young kid, I never really liked having baths, and my old man always told me that I'd be the bathless Grogan, and I guess it was a cartoon character from way back in the day. You should Google it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I figured I'd nickname this old turd the bathless Grogan, because I never wash it, and like I said, my father always called me that as a little kid, so I figured why not. Cars all need nicknames, so most of them do anyway. But I'll give you a quick walk around this old turd. Like I said, that's 327. That came out of one of my old project cars. I put an Offenhauser 6 carb intake on it. I only run on the 2 center carbs, and it seems to perform really well. One day when I do feel ambitious, I would like to maybe try to get all 6 carbs running, but that'll be one day down the road. Those were NOS Cal Custom valve covers that I put moon breathers through them. There's a Mallory dual point distributor. Just a really neat old motor, I think, anyway. In the interior, I was able to find at one of our swap meets, it was an NOS 48 Ford steering wheel that I picked up for 40 bucks. When I did put this old turd together, I didn't have a lot of money, so I went to the local auto wrecker and got a bench seat out of a late 80s, early 90s Dodge Caravan that seemed to fit fairly well. Just a neat old moon gas pedal and all that. When Gene Winfield was at our car show in 2014, the World of Wheels, I was asked to be a part of that for the weekend. And it was pretty neat hanging out with him the whole weekend. He dug my car and everything else, and obviously you can see he signed the dash. But it was pretty cool hanging out with him. He sure told a lot of dirty jokes, and it was a very memorable weekend hanging out with him. I really enjoyed it. But like he said, there's nothing really fancy about this car inside. It's just plain Jane. I had a good friend. He pinstriped the back of the deck lid. It's getting harder to see, but it was pretty cool at the time. Yeah. Like I said, I don't wash this thing very often, and this is the dust that's been sitting on it for a few years. But also my friend, he pinstriped both headlight buckets. I needed a catch can for my, those were my knees, for the coolant, so I just used off the Simpsons Duff can from Duff Man. So this is pretty much my old turd. Also another thing, I just want to be a spoiler here. This turtle cake that I ate for supper, not very good. Big disappointment. I think I'll stick with McCain's cakes. A lot better. It's just blech. But anyway, here's the video of my 35 Ford 3-window. I hope you liked it. I do have a list of stuff I gotta start doing to it before I put it on the road. Won't be many car shows, I don't think, this year, but it's just fun cruising it around, going to work or doing odd jobs or whatever. So, but anyway, I hope you liked my video. I'm tired. It's been a long ass day. I think I'm gonna call it quits and maybe have a real supper. And please like, comment, everything, all that good stuff. Like to hear from you, good or bad. And I hope you enjoyed my video, and we'll see you soon.